Hey guys, hope everything is well with you today. Today I'm going to show you what I sold on eBay from March 18th, 2019 to March 31st, 2019. I'm Paul Apollonia. My main venue is eBay that I sell on. I do some Amazon, I do some Facebook and other venues, Craigslist, but my main venue is eBay. Just works for me. I specialize in parting out items, appliances, lawnmowers, small engine equipment, and I also do a lot of consignment. So let's get started here. I talked in a previous video about dishwashers on Craigslist. I grab these all the time for free. Actually, there's another story involved in this one, but I'll tell you the Craigslist thing. I know I'm repeating myself if you guys watched my videos before, but I'll make sure the new people know what I'm doing here and how to get free things and part them out and make money. So Craigslist has a thing called email alert. So you go into Craigslist, you set it up, and you can have it email alert you. I do it on the free section for anything you're looking for: dishwashers, lawnmowers, TVs, stereos, whatever. And back in the old days, when somebody would post something, it would almost immediately go to your email. So you'd get notice of what was available. Today it's a little longer, maybe takes an hour, but I'm still pretty lucky with getting stuff from Craigslist. But back to this dishwasher rack here. I was at the thrift store dropping off some old inventory one day, and I noticed this dishwasher near the dumpster. I went, whoa. Well, I really didn't have the room to take the dishwasher because I was in my car. And it was just a Whirlpool. I mean, yeah, the parts bring good money, but not like the Bosch ones. But I opened it up and I saw this rack. And I went, wow, that should sell for pretty good money. Now, I didn't get a whole lot of money for the rack, and I was unable to get the part number on the from the dishwashers. I think it was worn off or it wasn't there. The tag fell off. But I made probably, I think this thing cost me about $15 to ship, maybe 16. So I probably made about $22 off of this after fees and expenses, and it cost me nothing. So let's go on to the next item. And you're going to see some high-end items and some low-end items. My average sale on eBay is between $15 and $25. I do sell things for lower than that if they can ship them out real quick. And I can you'll see some real low-end sales stuff here. Just want to be honest with you up front. Some of them are my screw-up, but hey, whatever. Just being open with you guys. Here is a consignment item I got from an Amazon seller I was doing work with years ago. Big time Amazon seller. He was getting tons of returns. Amazon sends you returns for sometimes no reason. And I was handling all his returns for him for about a year. After a while, he just said, don't worry about it. I'm moving on to something else. Keep all my stuff. And I said, okay. Not a big time sale here. Some kind of honeydew precious moment style. I have no idea. So let's see. I keep my descriptions real short. It is new, obviously. I keep them short because 80% of the sales on eBay are done with phones and smart devices, tablets, and people don't have time or room to read a whole lot. I make sure I use as much of the item specifics as I can. Every day eBay uploads their listings to Google Shopping, and that's what Google Shopping wants to see, and that's how you get found on Google, by following that. So I didn't make a whole lot of money on this, maybe $12, maybe $13. I think I went first class. It was pretty light. Another lawnmower bag. I saw a lot of these bags. I get these, usually they come with mowers when I'm getting them for free. Did really well with this one. I think it cost me $15 to ship, so I probably made about $20, $25, $24 on this. I try my best to take as many good pictures as I can. I'm just selling parts. I don't really worry about white backgrounds on a lot of things. I always measure. I go crazy with the measuring of these things to make sure that the person knows, because I don't really want to return. And I always state in my parts, I'm not responsible for part not fitting. 99% of the time, that means if it's going to be a return, I only got to pay for the return. and I don't pay for their shipping out or their shipping to me. It all depends how much the shipping is. So that was a good sale. Got quite a few items today here. I'll try and go as fast as I can. Here is a very low cost item. I pass south of the border once or twice a year. Every time I pass it, the place is a total trip. If you ever drive by this, it's on the border of South Carolina, North Carolina. It's a weird must stop. Get these, I think I get them for 5 cents a piece. And I don't make a whole lot of money on them. The problem with these is I send them first class. I don't use stamps. I probably should use a stamp, but I send them first class, 1 ounce, and it costs me a fortune. It probably cost me $2.25 to ship this thing, $2.35 in that area. But then I get a tracking number if I do it this way, and if it gets lost, I don't have to worry about it. I know it's only a 5 cent, 10 cent item. I'm tempted to use a stamp, but if I use a stamp, then I gotta write the address on it or type it out and tape it onto the envelope. And then I lose all eBay protection because I don't have a tracking number. So, but I'm going to change this up a little bit. When I was there in January, I grabbed a bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to sell the bumper sticker plus a little information card and plus something else I found. I know it's April and I haven't done that yet, but I'll get to that. And I'll probably sell those for about $10, $12 for the 3 of them. And you'll see somebody bought a lot of these. I'll show you that too. This is only one of the bumper stickers. Another dishwasher rack. This is another Craigslist find. Did really well with this one. I had free shipping on this because honestly, I don't do free shipping very often unless I see solds that have a ton of free shipping, and I'll do that. I'm real crazy with pictures. I take all different angles. I make sure people know what they're getting. And here's an example of this right here. Anytime I part out anything, dishwasher, washer, dryer, I always get a clear picture of the tag with the model number and serial number, and I have the last picture of any part I'm selling for that item. So the person knows the exact model number, and the problem is these dishwasher parts, they can fit a whole lot of things. Whirlpool, Kenmore, Maytag, you name it. So you got to Google it, and Google the model number, and get the part breakdown, and look at the part number for the dish rack. And so there's a lot of work involved, but there's a lot of money to be made in this. I think this went not that far away. And what I do with these racks anymore is I don't get a big box for them. I just get any kind of box. I cut it, a sort of Frankenstein box is what they call it, and I wrap the dishwasher rack in the box real tight, tuck it in on the end. A lot of cutting and taping involved here. Not for everybody. It takes me probably about 5 minutes to make the box. So the box is basically, the rack is encased in the box, wrapped really tight around the rack, and I just ship it out like that. And I haven't had a problem, knock on wood, this is about the 8th or 9th dishwasher rack I've sent out like that. Let's go on to the next item. A thrift store find here. I don't normally do a whole lot of thrifting, but I know exactly what to get. I bought this for $2 at the thrift store. It worked. Didn't make a whole lot of money on this. Probably made, after expenses and subtracting the cost of the item, probably made about $11. Actually went to very, very local, about a town away from me. So I did pretty good on this. Like I said, with anything I'm selling, I always make sure I take whatever kind of part number or information. These sell well. You're not going to make a lot of money on these things. They used to go for a lot more, but I think right now they're more of a novelty thing. This is another thrift store find. I bought this whole set of phones for $5. It was untested. I had no way to test it out. So I figured, I looked them up, and I probably could have gotten more for it because I just could have gotten more for it, but I don't want to price it too high. I wanted to get rid of them. So I paid $5 for it was in a bag. All these were in a bag. Paid $5 for all these. Took the best pictures I could of them. I showed some of them that had damage. There's the model number, one of the model numbers. Here's some close-ups of the glass. Some of the glass was worn. Obviously, these are used. So I do my best with pictures here. I got a white background. I was able to find a poster board to use. FYI, I use a dollar store poster board, so if I got to get a white background, and I use a dollar store presentation board behind it. So I tested these a little bit. The batteries were sort of holding a charge, and I made sure that I said these were working when taken out of service. I went out on a limb, sort of lied a little bit there, but I figured if it returns when they're not working, then that's fine. May need new batteries. I'm really clear on my description on any damage, and I try and show the damage in the pictures. So that was a good deal. I probably made about, gosh, 30, maybe $27 after expenses on that one. So that was a good find at the thrift store. This is a sort of a nightmare item. I'll be honest with you. I sold this engine. These are hard to find. I sold it. Or the guy messaged me who wanted to buy it. He said they're very hard to find. Was there any damage in the cylinder? I showed the picture here, and I took more pictures, and I said, no, the cylinder looks like it's fine. That was my mistake. He got it, and he sent me pictures. The cylinder was just chewed up from the piston banging around in it. Now, it says for parts not working. Technically, I did not have to accept a return. I said to him, don't even worry about it. Just keep it. After a lot of messaging back and forth, don't worry about it. Just keep it. I just gave him a full refund. And what I did, I said, hang on, let me see if I have another engine in my garage. And I had several. This time, I sold him the piston, the crankshaft, and the cylinder. And I'll show you that in another listing ahead. And he bought that without a problem, charging the same amount of money. So I made some money on it. I got all the items for free. Sorry for the delay. Here's another, didn't turn out so great item. Guy bought it, didn't even look at the measurements or anything. It didn't even fit his model number. It was totally different. So I said, okay, send it back. He sends it back. It's damaged. I didn't feel like fighting back and forth with him. It wasn't going well as it was. I just refunded him and I threw away the item. Sometimes it happens. It's a loss. 5 years ago, I would have been so mad at this. It would have ruined my whole day. I wouldn't have done any business. I would have stewed over it. I just refunded him and took it as a loss. It was sort of my mistake. I don't think I had the measurements on this, but he should have asked if it fits because I looked up his model number, and it was his microwave was way too long for this thing to fit. Lots of items here this time. A pot lid. Found this I'm clearing out storage units. I do that for people too. Clearing out two storage units for a friend of mine. He had tons and tons of stuff. And this pot lid was in one of the boxes, sat in my store for a little while. Some people call that a long tail sale when something sits on eBay for a while. But I did sell it. I probably made about $11 on this. Didn't think it went first class, pretty light. Notice how I always show measurements when I can of the lid. I go a little crazy with measurements. Here is another consignment item. I work with a friend of mine doing some WordPress stuff, and he does work with the restaurants. And he has a bunch of these POS terminals. We're not making a lot of money on these because they got some screen damage on them. What I do with any kind of electronics I sell is if it turns on, I make sure people see the process of it going on. There wasn't a whole lot. There was some screen damage, but not much. But you see, okay, here's when it first turns on. Then it goes up into Windows XP. Yeah, I know, XP. Then it goes into the software. And I think, and then I show some damage on the screen. And I'm very clear with damage on the screen. Screen has wear, review photos 7, 8, and 9. And that's what it is, 7, 8, and 9. So people know that the screen has damage. These are touch screens, so wait staff is touching these and scratching these up all the time. This actually went overseas. On any of my international sales, I use global shipping program. I know I've said this before, guys. I just want to make sure new people know what it is. Also called GSP. How it works is I ship it to an eBay location in Kentucky, as long as it gets there safely and is packed properly. And once eBay says they have it, I am out of the picture. If anything happens to it from Kentucky to its final destination, it's on eBay 99% of the time. I've heard people having nightmares with that, but knock on wood, I have not. eBay sends you messages when it gets to Kentucky, when they ship it out from Kentucky, and when it gets to the location. Most of the time you get those messages. I like global shipping program. A lot of people don't like it. It works well for my business model. And on this consignment, I charge 50% of sales below $100, and it decreases percentages after that. So I didn't make a whole lot of money on this, probably 20, maybe $19, almost a loss, but it's for a friend of mine, so that's fine. I think we've sold 3 of these already. Don't Christmas stuff. Don't eliminate Christmas stuff. Christmas stuff sells all year round. It is now April. Oh, it was March when I sold this. Sorry. Christmas stuff sells all year round. It might hang around for a while. Might be one of those long tail sales, but stuff does sell. These houses used to be going for a lot of money back a few years ago. I did a consignment lot with somebody that has a whole bunch of these type houses, and they're not selling real high. Sort of at a loss. She said, just keep everything. Don't worry about it. I don't want it back. She's downsized into a very small house. So what I get is mine, but still, it's not all that much money here involved in these. But Christmas stuff does sell all year round. I know people that just specialize in Christmas stuff, especially Disney Christmas stuff. Sorry for the screen. Here is a TV stand from a 40-inch Samsung somebody gave me. What I do is I part out the boards on these things, take 4 or 5 screws in the back, comes off. There's really nothing in these big LCD TVs. Your screen and about 2 or 3 boards are in there, and that's about it. I've sold boards, speakers, the stand I didn't make a whole lot of money on. Probably made about $20 on it after shipping and everything else, but it was a quick sale. So don't parting out. There's a lot of money in parts, people. You're just taking things apart. You're not worrying about putting things back together again. I don't know why this is doing this. You have to excuse my computer. This is another consignment item from the Amazon guy I told you about earlier. These sell periodically, maybe 1 or 2 a month I sell. I have probably about 4 or 5 pairs left. And these do really well. They go, I say no box. I have the box, but I say no box because I can put them in a smaller box than normally. Now, I just set on a pair last week, and I left it in the box, and I had another box that original box was able to fit into real tight, but I normally don't send them out in the box because I can just get them into a smaller box. I make probably about $22, $24 on these profit. These air filter covers for Briggs & Strattons, I just take the screw off, it pops right off. It's a low-end sale, but they sell quick. It's free shipping. Most of them are going out as free shipping. I probably make about $7 off of these after shipping, $7, $8. I'm happy. I just shove it in a poly envelope, fold it over, first class shipping, it's gone. And people tend to lose these a lot. They take them off and they run them over with a mower, or they can't find them. I've had a guy tell me my dog took it and chewed it up. So these are These sell all year round, especially in the spring and the summer, too. A vacuum cleaner hose that I got off a vacuum cleaner that I found on the side of the road. Always looking on the side of the road for stuff. It was trash day. I sold this, the canister, and something else off the Shark. I forget what the other thing was. Oh, the motor I think I sold off of the Shark. Doesn't take that long to take these things apart on vacuum cleaners. And this went very local, so my shipping was very, very cheap. I think my shipping was about $5. So I did very well on this, probably made about $18 after everything. Okay, here is another Briggs & Stratton air filter cover, same thing, made about $7 on it. Sorry for the lag on the computer here. Here is another one of these south of the border stickers. Like I said, bumper stickers. Not making a whole lot of money on these, but it's okay. I need to figure out another way. I'm tempted just to use the stamp thing. Here is a consignment item I'm doing for a friend of mine. She's just trying to downsize a little bit. A lot of interesting things. I sold this. I listed this. I sold this within an hour. May have charged a little, not enough for it. How I handled this one in shipping, I normally don't use packing peanuts, but I put it in a bigger box, filled it half with packing peanuts, put it in there, filled the rest, made sure that it was really tight in there and there was a lot of room on each side, and it got there without a problem. Went down to South Carolina. I'm in North Carolina, so it got there very quickly, and it probably cost me $7 to ship it because it was pretty light. But I take pictures of it because it's a signed piece. It took me a while to look this up. I had to Google all these names here. I had to Google, but I finally found one and priced it what I thought it would sell at, and it sold pretty quick. Got about 6 more items to go. I'm trying to go as fast as I can, but I also want to educate you on some things I'm doing here. Here's another grass bag I sold. Another one was given to me with a lawnmower. Notice dirty, large oil stain on corner. Always state the defects. Large oil stain on corner. There it is right there. Again, I measure the heck out of this stuff. I measure the opening, all angles of the opening. I also wrote down the model number of the mower, and I make sure I put all that information in the item specifics, the model number of the mower. I look up the parts breakdown on Google. Usually using Parts Tree is a good one to look at for small engine stuff and lawnmowers. And I make sure I put as much stuff as I can in here. I even put item notes in here, 1 and 2, large oil stain in corner, not responsible for part not fitting, very short descriptions, probably made about $24 on that. Here is a little vintage drafting mechanical pencil lead holder thing that I got in a box that a friend of mine was moving. He said, here, just take this. And I probably made about $100 off the stuff that was in there. It turns out that it was all old drafting stuff. I sold T-squares, everything else in a lot for $40. I sold something else for $50. I don't even know what else I sold out of the box, but this was first class. Probably made about $12 on this. I did close-ups of the name, of the ends. The guy got it a couple weeks ago. I'm assuming he's happy with it. Here's another consignment item that I sold pretty quickly. I listed it sold within a day. It's an old vintage purse. I have no idea. Now, you got to be careful with these. You don't want what they call a VERA violation, which means you're selling something counterfeit. I was really worried about selling this. She said it was legitimate. I wasn't sure. I made sure that I stated in good condition, some scratches. Blah, 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 blah. Here it is. Disclaimer. Looks like an original, but I am not sure. Because you don't want to get caught selling fakes. I unfortunately took a consignment gig 2 years ago from a guy that his wife was buying stuff like crazy off these websites, and he thought they were all designer purses. I took 2 boxes of them. I had somebody that I know sells purses look at them, and she said 99% of these are fake. He was not happy when I told him that. So I made half of this since I charged $50.50 for less than $100. It wasn't a bad sale. It was quick. It was pretty light to ship. We are almost done. Here is one of my nightmare sales that I really screwed up on. I looked at these up. They were going for about $32, $30. I figured I'd lower it a little bit. What is so hot on these, after I looked at it, is this bow. Most of the ones that people are selling, the bow is missing. That's an original bow, but as you notice, see that it's broken. The end of the violin and his finger is missing. I did not catch that when I sold it. It was totally my fault. The person got it. They were so excited that they got it. They were more excited they got it because they had the original bow. Now, you could sell that bow itself for about $20. But the minute she messaged me and said it's broken, I went, oh no, can you send me a picture of where it's broken? And she sent me a close-up of it, and I looked at that and I went, oh my gosh, I missed that. That was a total error on my part. I normally don't make mistakes like that, but we all do. I refunded her the total amount immediately and said, don't even worry about it. Do what you want with it. Sell the bow. Keep the little wooden thing I was giving away with it. It happens. I moved on quickly. Like I said, 5 years ago, 4 years ago, I would be obsessing over that return and be mad all day and not working on my business. Now it's just part of my business. Returns are part of any business when you're selling. Here is that cylinder head and piston and rod I was telling you about earlier. I told the guy I'm going to list it. I sent him the link. He bought it immediately. And I made sure that I looked at there's no scratches on the piston. No scratches. Top of the piston's clean. Well, dirty, but there's a picture of what it came out of. There's an angle of the cylinder. Notice it's shiny, but there's no scratches or gouges in it. He was thrilled. So I always try and do good when there's a screw up. I didn't even have to refund that guy, but I was nice and I refunded him, and I told him that. But it was good. Here is, I think on my last video I mentioned something about a lot of stuff sells in the microwave. Even the rings that are underneath the glass tray sell. I did very well on this. He was thrilled he got it so quickly. I probably made about $9, maybe $8.50 on this. It was fine. It was a quick ship. What I do is I put a piece of cardboard around it, put it in a poly envelope, shipped it out. I think it went out at 2 ounces. Again, here is the example of the model number. I take a picture of the tag on everything I'm parting out. 3 more items to go. Another low-end sale, but these things do sell. These are the coupler end to the trimmer, where you have the end has the weed whacker. You can put an edger on the end. You click it in. You can put a chainsaw and whatever. There's a lot of blower ends, tillers, whatever. These sell when I list them pretty good. Probably sell them within a couple days. Don't make a whole lot of money on them. I just throw them in a poly envelope, maybe wrap a little bit of a bubble wrap around it, goes out first class. These fit many, many, many trimmers. The key here is, with stuff like that, is to put the part number in the title, because that part number crosses over to many models. So that's how people find it. Here is another consignment item. Didn't make a whole lot of money on this. These don't go for new. These go for about $35 plus shipping. I was thankful that she gave me this in the original box. It was barely used. I think she broke her foot or something and used it for a couple days. Everything was in the box. I assembled it. Very easy. Couple clicks and no tools. Everything pressed together. Took a picture of it. Just did one picture. I usually do more pictures than that. And I took a picture of the tag so people know that. And then I filled the item specifics with all the information from the tag. I even Googled it and went on the manufacturer's website and got more information, the size, all this other stuff, the height. Very short description. I think it sold within a couple hours after listing it. Made half of that, so probably made about $13. But I didn't have to do anything. All I did was I just put some paper in the box to make it so it wasn't jiggling around, taped it, and put a label on it. This is our last item. It is another dishwasher rack. Didn't make a whole lot of money on this. Again, another Craigslist find on the dishwasher. Won't go into all that again. Well, I did. I'm sorry. Made probably about $22 on this. Like, again, I wrapped it in cardboard, sent it out, and they were happy. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I really hope it helps you out with your eBay sales. Hope you enjoyed the tips, and those help you out too. I'm Paul Apollonia. I do eBay training, small group, large group. I run a couple classes in local high schools at night. I also do eBay training online through venues like Zoom, Skype, etc. I also run the Raleigh eBay Meetup Group, eBay eCommerce Meetup Group. We have sellers that sell on eBay, Amazon, Poshmark, Etsy, you name it, they sell on it. We get probably about 15 or more people a month. That happens the second Thursday of the month from 7 p.m. to 8:45 in Raleigh. So thank you so much. If you like this, please, please, please hit the old like button and please subscribe to my channel. I'm always giving tips and tricks on how to part out things and what money I made on parting out things. And I also do these videos. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. You guys have a great day and happy selling.